Hello, everybody. I barely made it. Yeah, actually still at top of the hour, so I'm not late, but I was running pretty close. I had a good day. Still on the road. As you can tell, I've got kind of a different backdrop today. I am in a hotel in Ohio, and I started the day in Maryland. And I'll just say that I had more fun shopping today than I should have. And even though I set an alarm to leave the antique mall on time, I didn't. Thought I might be able to make some time up on the road. I didn't. So this is going to be kind of a, we'll see if I can hold up my tradition of being well organized. I did try and get everything set up. I've got everything tagged, tried to make notes on everything. We'll see how this goes. But I will say the items are a little bit random because they were the bags that I grabbed from the car as I raced into the hotel. So some of these I've done in my haul videos on the trip. Some of these are items that I had brought just in case I didn't pick up items. So some of these are the items that were left over that I didn't sell last week because I brought them from home. So I've got some of those. But some of these I've not put into haul videos. I've not talked about. And one of the items I bought today. So it's just a mix. Hopefully have fun with it, and we shall see. So let's see. Oh, so Irene is in Ohio too. So I am along I-70 somewhere, kind of like eastern part of Ohio. I'm heading toward Columbus, so I have not hit Columbus yet. So I think I'm still a while from there. So let's see who we've got in the chat besides Irene. So we've got Katie in the house from Vintage and Vinyl. Thanks so much for representing the great sunshine state of Florida. We've got Dawn from Just One More Dachshund Rescue from the Terp State, where I just left this morning. We had some fun last night. If you did not see my Instagram video or the live video I put on YouTube, she and I did a live haul video at the Just One More Dachshund Rescue Sanctuary, aka Dawn's house. And she has 17 dachshunds. So she had to take one of the dogs to the vet. So I was there alone with 16 of the dachshunds. And I did post a video on my Instagram. It was probably only like 5 minutes. And I introduced some of the dogs on that one. And then we did the whole live video or the live haul. And I will just say we did not cover everything I planned to show in the haul because we were having so much fun with the dogs. And the dogs, I think, were having fun too. I can't imagine that Lily has not like broken her back from how many times she tried to leap off my lap or climb onto my lap. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Carrie from KCATX, she caught a screen grab of me making a face. And I think it was the face when we heard one of the dogs yelp. So we got Nate coming in from New Zealand. Debbie is in the house. So thanks for joining, Debbie. And we've got Mayberry Caboodles from Texas. Trisha. So not Mayberry. We got Trisha. And we've got Beth from Carolina Princess. She was just on a little bit earlier this evening. And thanks for giving me a shout out on my for this sale. I wanted to make sure I could do these sales even though I've been on the road for 2 weeks because I'm kind of prepping for going back to work, going back to traveling for work. I only travel like 1 to 2 weeks a month for my day job. So it's not like horrible. And most of those are only a week at a time. So it's not going to be quite the same, but I wanted to see, I'm going to have to travel with some of my stuff, that kind of idea. So this has been kind of an educational experience. And my car is not big enough. Book Bewitched is in the house, so thanks so much for joining us. And Robin coming in from Maine. Thanks, Robin, for joining us. Rebecca, also from Maine, coming in. And let's see, we've got Linda Punky has joined us. Hey, Linda. And I feel like I'm in a weird setup. Oh, I've got another, even though I'm no longer in Illinois, we are well covered by Logan from Illinois. Pamela's in the house. Thanks so much, Pamela, for joining us. So I hope some of you guys, I recognize some of the names were in the live chat last night with the dogs. So I hope you liked that. I think even Beth said on her chat earlier tonight that nobody cared what I was showing in the haul video. Everyone just wanted to see the dogs. And trust me, so did I. That's why I didn't get too hung up on showing everything that I had. Sharon is joining us again. Thanks so much, Sharon. Kat is in the house. Thanks, Calypso Antiques. Let's see. I always feel bad if I miss somebody. Sandy and Otto. So Trisha's coming in from the West Coast. I don't think I had a West Coaster yet. Brooke is coming in from the archive. Roxana is here. We got San Antonio represented by Celeste. Sabrina is in the house. Jana's come back. Jana just left me. There we go. Jana's come back. Jean is in here. Got our first Canadian. Got Julie from AJ's Retro and Vintage. We got a Me Too. So is that Me Too at Sharon Delaney? So what did Sharon say? Oh, so we had 2 Canucks. Okay, so we got 2. I did not realize, Sharon, I didn't realize you were coming in from Canada. So thanks for jumping the border and checking out. Kylie coming in from the Badger State of Wisconsin. And Vinny, another Terp. No, that's a vintage vinyl. Where'd Vinny go? No, that's vintage vinyl again. Am I seeing things? I thought I saw vintage Vinny. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I saw vintage vinyl. Oh, there he is, the vintage vinyl. I think Vinny got either one or his first or his second shot today. I thought I saw that on Instagram. So I hope you're feeling okay, Vinny. Hope everything works well for you. Deb coming in from Southern Indiana. LJ is in the house. And who else? We missed Chad, another Terp. So he's from Northern Maryland. Dawn from Just One More Dachshund. She's in Southern Maryland. And let's see, Deb Riley, I think I said from Indiana. She's here. Jay Goodwin is here. New England Thrifter. Hello, Helen. Thanks for joining us again. Lynn Dowdy's back. Say hey, Lynn. Michelle Lee is in the house. And let's see, just jumped to go. Oh, Nettie's here. So we've got another West Coaster in the house. We just lost Nettie. Barb League, another Illinois representative, even though I'm not in Illinois right now. Thrifting Vegas, which I'm going to make the assumption is in Vegas. Mama's Treasures coming in, another Canadian. So thanks, Mama's Treasures, coming in. Let's see. All right. I'm sure I missed people. Mr. L. Page, you just jumped. I lost you. Texas. So Mr. L. Page coming in from Texas. Susan Way coming in from Mississippi. Angela, Columbia coming in. I don't know if I recognize your name, so welcome if this is your first time. So Vinny got his second shot. Starting to feel tired. Trust me, I get that. Hopefully you just get tired. Everyone seems to have a slightly different reaction to it. There are some people saying only women had the heavier reaction. I know just so many guys who got sick after the first one or after the second one. So good luck with that. Take care of yourself, lots of fluids, and just get a lot of rest. I was definitely hit with the tiredness. It went away. Like I basically was tired for a few days. I was functional, but I just like, oh God, I'd love to have a nap. Judy's here. Leanne has come back. Hey, Leanne. Nanette has come back, and I just clicked on the wrong person because it jumped. So there's Nanette. So got a lot of people coming. Proud Americans coming in. And okay. I think I said hi. If I missed somebody, I do apologize. Halem's here. So we've got our Keystone State of Pennsylvania covered. Another Pennsylvania. We got Patty coming in from Pennsylvania. So which was the first half of my trip. So I started in Chicago, went east, went through, well, if you know your geography, obviously went through Indiana. I didn't stop anywhere in Indiana. I stopped in Ohio at the Maumee Antique Mall. A couple of these things are from the Maumee Antique Mall. And then I did a meetup at Moonstruck Vintage with Elisa from Moonstruck Vintage. And actually one of the items that I bought from her is in the sale tonight. And I was with Cindy from Mimi's Treasure Cottage. She did a video a couple months ago about the vintage department store in Cleveland. And I don't know if I've got anything from that one. I might. Yes, I think I do. So I've got some stuff from there. Then I went into Pennsylvania, did some thrifting with Rebecca from Kitschy and Bitchy. She was with my live sale last week. Worked my way through Pennsylvania, hit Scott in Philadelphia, the old Curiosity Shop, did a couple of videos for there. I will have another video coming out on Sunday that I'll hopefully be posting the one with Cindy on Saturday. I'll post the video that I did with Scott on Sunday, another video that I did with Scott on Sunday. I'll do that during my normal evening slot at 8 p.m. on Sunday Eastern. He has agreed to do a live chat with me. So I will post that video and he will be in the live chat. So it will not be a live video, but it will be a premiere video. So you can have a conversation with Scott at the same time that the video is premiering. Hey, Gabrielle. So that's coming up. So anyway, let's go ahead and get some things started. As if you were in my sale, Beth, got another text in. Beth is in the house. If you joined my sale last week, I have been doing I don't do auctions here as part of the channel. There are 1 or 2 names that I didn't recognize. So they work, my channel works just whatever the way everyone else's does. The difference is I don't do auctions. I don't do offer up. So everything I'm going to show you, I will give you the price. If you want that item, you will just enter the number that I give you. The first person to claim, or to first person that Nate in New Zealand, who seems to have faster internet than I do, and he sees things faster than I do, the first person Nate sees in the chat, he will recognize as the person to claim it. Prices do not include shipping. So if you've never purchased from me before, just make sure you send an email to the email address on the screen so that I know where you are. I'll then send you an invoice with the cost of shipping combined if you buy more than 1 item. And once you pay the invoice, I ship the item. Now, I am still on the road until Saturday night or Sunday morning, the way things go. So I will not be sending invoices until probably Sunday or Monday. And that includes the items that were sold last week. So I do apologize. I don't normally run that long, but I can't ship anything until I get back to Chicago. So if you bought anything from me last week, if you buy again this week, I will combine across the 2 weeks. Hey, Sheila, try and take care of you that way to make up for the fact that there was the delay. And then I will be home starting next week. So I didn't have an auction item because I was traveling the last 2 weeks. And if somebody bought, I do have an eBay auction, and I always show 1 item that's in the eBay auction. I don't have something to show that's going to end this week, but I do have an item that will start tonight, because I will be home next week, so I will be able to ship it. So at the top of the hour, I will show that item. That is when that auction is going to go live, and then it will end at the same time in 7 days. So during the sale next week, I've got a fun item that I picked up here on the trip, and I actually showed it. So if you were paying attention to the live haul last night at the Doxy house, I showed it during the Doxy haul. So I will show that. So as normal, I'm going to start out with mystery box. Now, mystery boxes work a little bit differently. Normally, I will give you the number, and you just have to be the first one to type it in, because these tend to be really popular, and I always want the mystery boxes. They're just fun. So the way I do the mystery boxes is I'm not going to tell you the number. You have to guess it. So first off, my mystery boxes are always $15. So it's a $15 box, so not a huge investment. I have learned my lesson that I no longer pack them until I know where they're going. So if they're going longer distances, like if I'm shipping to California, I will make it lighter weight. You'll still get the same value of everything, but it'll just be lighter weight stuff. If you're closer, you might get some heavier stuff, because I'll try and keep the shipping cost around $10. So whatever I can ship for about 10 bucks. So it's always going to have at least $25 to $30 worth of stuff in there, and it will be a combination of smaller ticket items. Sometimes they're still priced from when I had a booth. Other times it's just what I would have sold them during a live sale, and I mix it up because then it's fun to open and you have a lot of variety to pick from. And I've had multiple people buy boxes and repeat boxes. So if you've got anybody in the chat, hey Jeannie, if anybody's in the chat who's bought one, hey Christina, and you liked it, let everybody else know. They are kind of fun. And I am doing something different, because last week because I had to carry everything with me, I just had everything that fit into a little box. I didn't have as big of a sale as normal. It was a joint sale, so I didn't have as many items that I was selling. They were low ticket items. So I need to make up for that a little bit. Plus, I've been buying a lot of stuff on this trip. So I am going to have 3 mystery boxes tonight. So this is just for one of them. So this is the first one out of the gate. I always start, for my early birds, I appreciate when you sign on. So we're going to start with the first one. So it's $15. What you have to do is guess the number. Yes, of course I've got coasters, Michelle Ann. So you got to guess the number. You can guess more than once. You just have to type the number in, hit enter, and then type the number again. Don't just give me a string of numbers. I will be watching the chat, and the number will fall. Debbie's jumping ahead. The number falls between 60 and 70. So the number falls between 60 and 70. And holy cats, we've got the first person out of the gate. Got it. Oops, nope, that wasn't it. You jumped. Old Stuff, Beth, Texas. It was 67. And she got it right out of the gate. So first person to guessed with the right number. So 67 was the first person to get that with Old Stuff Old Stuff, Beth, Texas. So congratulations, Beth. You were just lucky on that one. So that'll be a $15 mystery box, and that, like I said, those will ship. I'll start shipping those next week once I get back. So, all right. So that was my first mystery box, but I normally only have one. This time I am going to have more than one. So if you missed out on this one, you'll actually have 2 more chances. Hey, Kim. So I'm in your home state. I'm in Ohio right now. So Kim joined us to see if anybody joined that I missed earlier. I think I caught it right. Annette. I don't think I said hi. Oh, maybe I did. Angie. I'm not sure. Said hi to Angie. So I got Southern Buckeye. I'm in the Buckeye State, but you're not. So anyway, that is the first mystery box. Okay, next item. We had a question whether I have coasters. I don't know how to say. I don't want to say anything that'll offend anyone. So are there trees in the woods? Okay, that was a stupid one. But anyway, yes, I have coasters. And I actually have Christmas coasters. So there was a debate while I was actually with some of the resellers this week that, what do you do with Christmas items? Now on Etsy, I just hold my Christmas items pretty much throughout the year. Because some people will buy them if they're, I've sold Christmas all the time. Like, I don't feel you have to sell it just at Christmas time. But with the live sales, I'm kind of wondering if there is, a better time to have or not. But this was one of those this is actually one of the items I brought from home. Because it was lightweight, it fit in the box, and so it was just easy for me to carry. So I have a sealed package of, it says they are washable plastic. So I haven't opened it, but I'm guessing by the way I can kind of see the thickness of these. I think they're the flexible vinyl, so they've got the silk screen of a Christmas tree on there. They're, age-wise, there's a zip code on here. So it's after 1963. There's a UPC code. So that puts it definitely after the 70s, if not into the 80s when they became popular. I would say these are probably 90s, ish. They're definitely vintage. They just have the plain cardboard backing on the back. So they were once sold by Eagle. What was this? Eagle non-foods. I think Eagle's a grocery store. I don't think we have those in Illinois. I think they're, which is actually interesting. I don't think we have them in Illinois, but I did buy these when I was in Illinois. So they originally sold in Eagle for $1.49, and then it's probably after Christmas, they got knocked down to 75 cents. So you've got the original packaging, you've got the original pricing. It is still completely sealed. It's not like somebody ripped it open and then taped it back together. So I will have a lot of things as I did last week. Yes, they're very Spode-esque. We've got kind of the Spode Christmas tree, but no Santa at the top. Instead, we got like a little bubbler, one of those the bubble lights. Then there's a Santa on the side. So anyway, as I did last week, I created the kind of on the fly. I created the Trusty travel bin as opposed to the bargain bin. And so I've got a bunch of stuff that's $5 because I didn't bring all of my tags, so it made it easier. So this is part of the Trusty travel bin. It's $5 for the sealed set of 6 4-inch round Christmas coasters. So hey, David from Toledo Antique, who I thought had more than 17 dachshunds, but he has 6, which makes him insane also. So this is $5 Trusty travel bin, $5 by giving me letter M. Letter M, $5 for the Christmas coasters. And I am in Ohio, David. So farther away from you. I'm east of Columbus. And trying to get my video to come up, and I just started hearing myself in the background. So sorry about that echo, guys. But I want to make sure I'm following the comments and getting the right people. And yes, Vinny, here I go with the coasters. You're going to show up at my sale. You're going to see coasters. So it's just really what kind of coasters you're going to see. You could turn it into a drinking game. Every time I show you a coaster, you take a shot. And you tell me you're doing that, I will just make sure I have a lot of coasters just to make sure everyone gets wasted. So it looks like we've got, so David, so that's where that picture was that I had. I only had a couple of the dachshunds with me. You saw it on my Instagram, but if you go, I did an Instagram video of about 5 minutes that introduced probably about 6 or 7 of them. And then I think we ended up, Dawn and I figured out we introduced about 10 or 11 on the video, my live haul that's on my YouTube channel. So I think we did end up showing, we didn't show all of them, but we showed quite a bit. And let's see. Letter M goes to, so the Christmas coasters goes to Jerry Ellsworth. So thank you, Jerry, for picking up a set of coasters. All right. Next item. This was one. Okay, this is one that came from the Maumee Antique Mall. So this was one of the items I showed in the haul video. I'm losing track of days. At some point last week. And this was actually probably falls under one of my favorite items that I found because it's just kind of goofy. It is the original cellophane, an original cellophane envelope or like a little pouch for Duncan's Egyptian fiber yo-yo strings. So once upon a time, you could get 2 strings for 5 cents. So you can see it's kind of I'd say cellophane. It's like, it is translucent. You can see the strings are wadded up in there. Turn around whether you don't see the picture, you can probably see it better. So you can see the strings are in there. I'm sorry, did we miss? Oh no, Soul Nate is actually the one who's tracking the coasters. So he will be announcing who won the coasters. I think he was just putting in what the letters were. So anyway, so this one is, I think there's 2 strings. It's open in there. There you go. You can see it. It might be 1 string, might be 2 strings. I don't think you're buying it for the strings. I think you're buying it for the cool graphic, the genuine gold sealed Duncan's Egyptian fiber yo-yo top strings. Now, I don't know what a top string is, but it's yo-yo strings. It's fun. It's goofy. It was just something that I had to pick up because I thought it was fun. And it's only $4. So $4 for the yo-yo strings by giving me number 20. $4, number 20 for the yo-yo strings. All right, so the one thing that I do not have on this trip is I did not pre-print everything. So that's where I'm a little bit slower because I've got to keep track of the numbers that I'm assigning to everything. So when we figure out who wins them, I can figure it out. So, all right, next item. This also came from the Maumee Antique Mall. That wasn't intentional. So that I'm doing these in order. So number 20 goes to Brooke Ligon of the Archive. Thank you, Brooke, for picking those up for $4. All right, the next one is, this is one, hopefully my lighting, hopefully it's going to be good enough to see these. So this is the vintage tape measure. So I showed this last week. It's a made in USA. There's no advertising on this. It's possible there might have been something like maybe a paper label or something around the rim because it's recessed. So it might have had something on there. But right now it's just got a lot of patina. Soul Nate is hyperventilating right now because he wants to polish it. So let's see if we can get this. There we go. So you can see this one, and this was, I think Katie had said something last week, that this one, because of the detail of this was probably either a shopkeeper's one or something that would have been on display or for the lady of the house. That this isn't just like a really, run-of-the-mill, just little metal tin tape measure. There's some really nice machine detailing on both sides of that. So you've got that on one side, and then where the push button is on the other, you also have some decorative work on the outside, and then also around the center button. So that centerpiece, that's what pushes it to make the tape retract. So it's a really nice small size. It does, stay in place until you push the button, in which case it goes back up. So I did not find a maker's mark. Maybe if you polish it up, you might be able to figure out who made it. I don't see anything on it. Again, you can just see there's just some really nice machine engraving being done, like all the way into like a little rosette there in the middle. There's just some really nice work with this one. So it's a little tape measure. It is $8. So $8 for the little tape measure by giving me number 33. $8.33 for the little tape measure. Every time I see somebody talk to Proud American as PA, I'm thinking we're talking about Pennsylvania. So I always have to pause for a second and make sure, wait, are we talking about Pennsylvania? What are we talking about? All right, so that was a popular one, so I need to wait and see who Nate sees that got that one. All right, this one I can't remember where I got this. I want to say this was the Maumee Mall, but this might have been at the place I went to with Cindy. So I have done so number 33, the tape measure goes to Nettie. So thank you, Nettie, for picking up the tape measure. So this next one, I did a lot with, and this was actually back home. I did a lot from an estate that had a bunch of Cracker Jack toys, and those were really popular. I had several different styles. I actually sold some last week, and they're just fun. There's like these little items. So I'm always on the lookout for those because they are fun. And so these ended up not being Cracker Jack toys. These ended up being cereal toys. So what I'm going to do, I've got two of them, but I'm going to sell them separately because they're two different colors. So in case you want to pick which color you want. One is white and one is blue. So I will just show you. So you got one white and one blue. I'm going to sell the white one first and give that its own number. And then I'm going to give you the number for the other one. So they're both the same price. I just don't feel that they're interchangeable. Like usually for something like this, I'd say, well, just the first two. But because they are different colors, you may prefer one or the other. So it is a little fighter jet, a little fighter airplane. It's still sealed. It's still on its little frame. And you can see the card that has all the decals on it. It is from the Kellogg Company of the 80s. So it's got where all the decals are supposed to go. And it's kind of hard to see the decals because you have to look through the plane to see them. But you can see there's kind of like the stickers that would go on the wings and the body of the plane. So they're identical. It's just this one happens to be a white bodied plane and this one happens to be a blue bodied plane. So the white bodied plane, they're both $4. Right? They're $4 each. So the prices are not different. So the white one is $4. And if you want the white one, give me number 10. So number 10 is the white plane. And that is $4. So give me 10 for the white plane. Or if you would like the blue plane, or you see that you've lost out, well, let's see who gets the white plane so that in case you missed out on it, you may want to try to get it again. So we had a couple people trying for it. So let's see. I see who I see first. Let's see who. Yep. So number 10, the white plane goes to Halem. So congratulations, Halem, for picking that up. If you want the blue plane, also for $4, that is its own number. And you get the blue plane by giving me number 76. The blue plane is $4, number 76. So that way, if you wanted one color or the other, you had a chance to get. All right. Next one, this one actually I picked up. I picked this up recently. I might have picked this up with Scott. Now I can't remember. So let's see. Number 76 goes to. Looks like we only had one person try to claim that. So that was number 76 went to Michelle Ann. So 76, the blue plane went to Michelle Ann. So thank you, Michelle, for picking up the Kellogg's blue plane. All right, so this one I want to say I picked this up with Scott, and it falls into one of those categories that as amazing as Scott is, and he is amazing, and I had a great time working with him, you know, you can't know everything. You can't recognize everything. And so he actually didn't recognize what this is. So I've actually sold this before, so I knew exactly what I could sell it for, and so I'm going to sell it for that price again. Last time I had two. This time I've just got one. So I'm going to let you guys see if anyone wants to guess what this actually piece is. So it's got a handle. It's cone shaped. There's this little piece at the bottom that does turn. And when you turn it, you've got those two little metal pieces inside the cone that actually turns along with it. So it is the shape of a candle snuffer, Debbie, but the blades wouldn't be needed in the. I mean, you could use it as a candle snuffer, put out a really big candle. But yeah, let's see. I just saw a couple of people say it, so let me see who I got give first credit to. Looks like the first person that recognized it was Dawn. So Dawn got it with the ice cream scoop. So you would actually put, either spoon, or probably you would spoon into this. I don't know if you would actually want to try and scoop with it, but maybe you could. So you get a conical shape of your ice cream scoop, and then you twist this so it would break it apart from the mold and drop onto your plate or cone or whatever. They come in different sizes. This is the larger one. So just for a frame of reference, sometimes they're marked, but this one, it's got a lot of patina on it. This one, I couldn't tell if it was marked. I think the last one I had was, but the cone itself is like 3 1/4 inch, 3 3/8 inch across here. And then height wise to the top of the finial is about a little under 4 inches. So the last time I had this size, and then I had one that was a little bit smaller that actually sat inside for storage. So this one I'm selling by itself. It is a ice cream scoop, and you've got this nice little rusted patina. I don't think you want to be putting ice cream in it right now, but it is still functional because that still turns and it still turns the blades. So you've got the ice cream scoop for $20. $20 for the primitive style ice cream scoop. $20 by giving me number 98. $20, 98 for the ice cream scoop. $20. So it looks like a lot of people learned something tonight. That a lot of people thought it was a candle snuffer, and from a distance, there'd be no reason you wouldn't think it was. That's why I was trying to give you the heads up that turned. And for something that would be this big to snuff, I'd want a longer handle because it'd be like a fireplace that you try to put out. So now you know. So 98 goes to Leanne Say. So thank you, Leanne, for picking up the ice cream scoop. I hope you enjoy that. And you know what? I don't actually know the age of these, Leanne. I want to say they're actually going to be older than the 40s. They were around, this style was around for a long time, but because of the detail in the keyhole of that twist, I want to say this might actually be a little bit older. But they're kind of hard to date because they're not there's no manufacturer's mark or anything on it. So it's just it's the style. And yeah, Beth, well, you and I, we can go together. We'll just start, forming all our little cones. It can be on a serving tray, and we just have more than one. All right. Next one, we're going to jump into something kind of fun and exciting because this I picked up from Moonstruck Vintage, which is a brick and mortar store run by Elise Vitri. She had the honor, because Dawn is here in the chat. She had the honor, or we had the honor, I guess. She donated the most valuable item that the fundraiser for the Just One More Dachshund Rescue received last year, and so raised the most money. It was an oil painting of a pair of pointers. We didn't sell it on the live sale. I ended up selling it through Etsy. So it was a very high-end item, and it was very gracious of her to offer that to us. And she opened up the store to Cindy and I to share, what her brick and mortar store was doing, which is in Little Italy. If you're in the Cleveland area, she's in the Little Italy section of Cleveland. And I am picking up my first Stars and Bars fairy lamp. So it is clear, which to me makes it more attractive because it goes with any decor. Colored glass is always going to be the most popular options, but clear, you put whatever color candle inside of it that you want. It'll go with anything, and it is the Indiana Glass Stars and Bars design. So I picked this up because I know that fairy lamps are super popular, and I know that they, how do I say this without sounding rude, but they can go for very big prices. This is a very lovely, simple Indiana glass, straightforward design, Stars and Bars. You can find these on Etsy, fairly regularly available. I'm fully aware of that. And so I'm selling this for $20. $20. No, I'm not doing an offer up. That's actually kind of my point. Vinny. It's $20. Like if you look on Etsy, that's what these are selling for. Maybe a little bit more, but I was, again, Moonstruck was gracious and offered me a good price on this. And it just so happens I found another one on the trip. So I have two. So this is a case that I have two Indiana glass stars and bars fairy lamps. They are both identical. I am selling them separately, and I'm selling them for $20 a piece. So this is a case where if you want both of them, you just have to enter the number twice as quickly as you can. Otherwise, the first two people that see it will get it. So it's $20. There's nothing wrong with offer ups. I just don't do them. But this to me was kind of a reality check that, in some cases, I'm going to sell things for what I feel are fair prices. And if I were to put this onto Etsy, I'd probably sell it for 25 or maybe 30 onto Etsy. Here, I don't have to pay those types of fees, whatever, and it's more for fun. I got a good price, so I'm going to pass it off to you guys with a good price. It's not, amberina. It's not an amazing color. It doesn't justify the $100 or $200 that some of them are getting. This is just run of the mill, and I'm not going to try and say it's otherwise. So it's $20. So the first two people to give me $20, first two people that give me the number 97 get a clear stars and bars Indiana glass fairy lamp. $20. The first two people that give me 97 get the fairy lamp for $20. And as I hoped, it is popular. And I hope you guys are going to give it a good home. And I hope it doesn't show up on one of your channels and you do an offer up. But if it does, I can't stop you. So do what you want to do. But I'm the Trusty Huckster. I'm selling it to you at a fair price. So let's see. So see who the first two people are. I see who I see, but let me see. Oh, wait, no, I don't. All right. Actually, what? Wow. It gets confusing when there's also, I have no problem. You can chat away because I don't do offer ups, but I can't find the first one. Hold on, let me see what Nate is giving me. All right, so 97 went to Kim Z and Debbie Spilker, which I did eventually see, but there was something else underneath it. Debbie Spilker. All right. So 19 people wanted that. So I hope you guys are happy. Sorry if you missed out on that, but I'm glad for Kim and Debbie. So you get if you're either starting your fairy lamp collection, you get your first one for $20. Okay. I'm going to jump into a brooch. These are brooches. I did show some brooches last night on the Just One More Dachshund live haul. These are not from that because I still want to research some of those. That was the ones that I picked up from Suffragette City. I need to research a couple of those, but these are ones that I brought from home that I had the opportunity for an estate sale to pick up some brooches, and I sold a few of them last week, and I'm going to have 3 of them tonight. None of these are marked. So this one happens to be a gold tone leaf shaped brooch. Where'd my tape measure go? Oh, I could use the one I just sold, but I will use my regular tape measure. It is 3 1/4 inches long. So you can kind of get an idea of the size. It has the safety clasp on the back, lobster claw safety clasp on the back. I mean, this is probably, I have no idea even how vintage this would be. I mean, I think these probably would have been popular in the 80s, 90s, but it could be even later than that. It's got some really nice detail work, showing the veining of the leaves. It's got kind of like almost like a texture in it. See if we can get that to show. Like there's kind of like almost a brushwork in the background of the leaf that also shows on the inside. It's just a simple gold tone brooch that is not signed, nothing special about it. So it's part of Trusty's traveling bin for $5. So $5 for the little gold tone leaf brooch. $5 by giving me letter H. $5 letter H for the gold tone leaf brooch. All right. I'm going to go ahead and throw some ephemera up here. This is also something I brought from home. I sold a couple of these last week, so I'm selling the other two that I picked up from the same place. I'm selling them tonight. And that is, this one is a California, so all my West Coasters, the California Travel Guide. So this one is promoting the Richfield credit card. It's the California Travel Guide. It's got kind of like the cool little graphics on here. And when you open it up, it is a vintage map of California. So it is, be careful, the life you save may be your own. It's got close-ups. So it's a Richfield map, which I'm not familiar with Richfield, so I don't know if that's a local thing. So it's got the little Richfield logo, down there in the corner, and then the Richfield credit card on the front. It has the close-up sections of the map, key, and mileage chart of the San Diego is in the upper corner. And then on the back side, you've got the highway map of California, which got some cool graphics on it. And just the way the font is done. I don't think I ever did find, oh, I did. It did have a date on it. It was 1962, printed by the H.M. Gausha Company, lithography in USA. So it's got the maximum speed. It's got all the different, all the things you'd find on the legend for the map. It's a simple map. It's just from 1962. So it's so 1962 Poodle. And it really only shows the date that I found, because initially I didn't even see it, up there in the legend. It's got the copyright. So it's not like a big prominent thing. If anyone is born in 62, the map of California, the year you lived. So it is a vintage California map. Looks great in one of your own ephemera bowl if we all start copying off of Katie. And you can have it by giving me letter A. Letter A, yes, proud American. It is definitely vintage because it exists. It is a map. And most people, including my daughter, would have no idea how to do it. So A for the California map. And I think we did have a taker on the H. So the gold leaf brooch went to Nettie. So thank you, Nettie, for picking up the gold leaf brooch. And looks like we had a couple takers on the map. Oh, who did we get? Yep, we got Katie. She's adding it to her ephemera bowl. So Katie she doesn't want anybody else to have an ephemera bowl, so she's just going to buy it herself. So the California map goes to Katie. Thanks, Katie, for picking that up. All right. I got more coasters. So I'll show you another set of coasters. This one, I did not get as close to, I didn't get into New Zealand this time. This time, I made it to Australia. So we've got a set of Sydney coasters by the Susie Thomas Publishing. I don't even know what PTY stands for. So Susie Thomas Publishing something limited. These are Australian made. So they say that right on the back with a little kangaroo in the triangle. So I don't know if that's the Australian made symbol. I really have no way of knowing how old these are. I can't imagine they're like super old. I didn't find a date, but there's no barcode or anything on these. It's a set of 6. And what I liked about them is it's like a true set of 6. It's not 6 of the identical image. It has multiple. So you've got the night view of the Sydney Opera House. You've got something called the Rocks. I have no idea what that is. Is that a prison? Because that does not look like a bunch of rocks. So we've got the Rocks. We've got Center Point Tower. And then we've got Harbor City, which also has the Opera House, but it's an overview of the entire harbor. King's Cross, which in London is King's Cross Station. I don't know if this is a park maybe, or maybe that's what that building is called. So we got King's Cross. And then the last one is called Darling Harbor. So we got Darling Harbor. So it is a set of 6, complete set of 6 in its original box from the Susie Thomas Publishing Company. Set of 6. It is part of the Trusty Traveling Bin, 6 of the paperboard with cork backings. So got kind of like the laminate, and then the cork, it's letter U. So I just showed it. Letter U for umbrella to get you the Sydney cork back set of 6 coasters in original box. Now try and get them back into the box. So Sarah Lee Coleman joined us. So thanks, Sarah Lee. So King's Cross, oh, it's a red light district. Well, then of course it absolutely belongs on a coaster. So, you know, that's what makes coasters great. And Soulnate has been to all those places, so he is just rubbing it into all of us. So $5, letter U for the Sydney coasters. All right. I think I'm going to introduce another mystery box. So got another mystery box. No difference. It's going to work the same way as it did before. I'm going to tell you what range the number is. I just happen to have another because I got a lot of stuff that I picked up on this trip, plus I had already had at home. So I'm doing 3 mystery boxes on this trip. So this one, it's still $15. It still works the same way, but the number that you're going to pick falls between 90 and 99. So it falls in the 90s. Between 90 and 99, you get a mystery box. So for those who missed out on the first one, you can try for a second one. So number falls between 90 and 99, it'll be $15, and you'll get at least $25 to $30 worth of stuff. So let's see, we got some guesses coming in. All right, I think I've got the first person. I didn't actually tell Nate what the number was. So you guys tell me if I am mistaken, but going off of StreamYard, which is normally correct, the number is 93. And the first person I see with the number 93 is Celeste in San Antonio, Texas. So unless somebody can argue with me and say that that is not what you guys are seeing on the YouTube side, because again, I'm looking at it from StreamYard, which can be wrong, but I don't see anyone else even near her that had the 93. So I'm pretty sure that the mystery box goes to Celeste, and that is what Nate is confirming. So Celeste in San Antonio, Texas. So congratulations, Celeste, for picking up one of the 3 mystery boxes that I'm going to do tonight. All right. And thank you, Melody, for backing me up on that too. Okay, this is getting in the way. So I'm going to do this one next. I mentioned that I packed everything into a box, and that was how I did my sale last week, and then some of the things carried over from this week. Here's the box. It is a brown bag original cookie tin, dated 1991 from the Silver Crane Company in England. So we've got the bus represents, you see kind of like the little story on the bottom, that they did a series of these, and you can see the other ones in the series, but they all represented delivery trucks that were on the road in the 60s, or I'm sorry, the 40s and the 50s. So this one is the brown bag original cookies tin. It's a decent size, but it's of course very lightweight. So I will have to get a decent sized box, but it doesn't weigh much. It is 10 inches across, or 10 inches long from the front of the bus to the back, 5 1/4 wide, and then it is 6 1/4 inches tall. So it's a decent size tin. You know, so you've got can of pop next to it. You know, it's pretty decent height. This is what everything fit into. It's in really pretty good condition except for the top. The top, it looks like they had left like probably a pop tin or something on it. So there's some oxidation or discoloring. You don't feel it, but I tried to just kind of like rub it down and it didn't go anywhere. So I don't know if there's a way to polish that. I didn't want to mess up the lithograph on the tin itself. So you do have a little bit of discoloration there. Try and show it to you with the light, you know, so you can see there's a little ring that formed on there, but for everything else, it's actually in really good shape. There's no oxidation anywhere else. There's no rust. The lid fits really nicely. It's got that gold wash interior, and the lid, and obviously where the lid goes on, you've got a little bit of paint loss, but you really can't avoid that for airtight tin lids like this. So it does go on there. It's a tin from the 90s. And it's part of Trusty's travel and bin. So it's $5. So $5 for the brown bag original cookies tin. $5 by giving me letter P. Letter P for pig. $5. Get the brown bag original cookies tin. Sorry, Nettie. I could have fun with that. Trying to turn on people's series. All right. Next one, I will go to this one. I just thought was like a fun contradiction in terms. This is Holly Hobby, everyone's favorite 70s child. All with the quaint graphics and everything like that. So the big tin goes to Nettie, so I can pack your gold tone brooch inside that with no problem. So thank you, Nettie, for picking up the cookie tin. So Holly Hobby, sweet, the little bonneted girl, she's on all the little, frilly things that would go in a little girl's bedroom. Ashtray, anyone? Holly Hobby ashtray. So you've got the Holly Hobby figure, and it is Holly Hobby. It says right on the back, it's the Holly Hobby Blue Girl. It did have a date on it, I think. Oh, did it? No. Is a cop? Oh, yes, it does. Roman numerals. 60. 50, 60. No, 78. 1978. Took me a while to redo my Roman numerals. So it's dated 1978. It's actually in perfect condition. Like there's no little chips or anything in any of the, but the design is set into the bottom of the ashtray, and it says, when you smile at the world smiles back through your tobacco stained teeth. I don't know. So I just thought this was the funniest contradiction to have this little Holly Hobby girl, but she's promoting smoking. So just as everyone did in the 70s, and still many do today. So it's either a great little ashtray you could use and just put your butts out right on her face, or use it as a trinket dish or whatever. Because it's actually pretty dark. It's pretty deep. For an ashtray, it's almost like a cereal bowl. There's some height to that. So you could use this very easily as a change dish, trinket dish, whatever. But technically, it is an ashtray. So it is an ashtray that you can get as part of Trusty's Travel and Bin for $5. So $5 for the Holly Hobby ashtray, $5 by giving me letter J. J is for jam and for Holly Hobby ashtray. So that was $5 for Holly Hobby, letter J. Okay, next one is going to go to another brooch. So this one is, I mentioned if you happen to catch, oh, Nettie didn't get the tin. I'm sorry. Hold on. Letter J goes to Melody. So we'll take care of that. The letter P, I apologize. I saw it wrong. Letter P went to Celeste, who also got the mystery box. I think maybe that's where I got confused. Okay, so I apologize, Celeste and Nettie. You both got 2 items, or Celeste also is getting 2 items. So maybe I'll pack your mystery box in the brown bag tin. But I do apologize. I think I probably just, who knows what I did. So I apologize for any confusion, and thank you for bringing that to my attention. As you know, I do not do well following the chat. So sometimes, yeah, you do have to yell at me in caps. So thank you, Rebecca. I did see it. And for Jay, that did go to Melody's many miscellaneous. Okay, so I do have a brooch. If you saw the live video that I did at Suffragette City Vintage yesterday, I actually showed a brooch that I said was kind of like the sister of a brooch that I was going to have in the sale, and this is the one. It's a butterfly brooch, and they are prong set stones, or probably glass. I mean, I'm not going to say these are stones. This is not a signed piece. It's just a white metal, but it does have these kind of like milk glass style white stones to it. They are all individually prong set with the wrapped back. She had one just like this that was a half butterfly that also had the filigree work in between the the wings. So this one's got the big antenna on there. It's the full bodied butterfly. Again, it's all white, silver tone, white metal. But what's nice about this one is you do have the pin on the back with the safety clasp on it, but you can see it can also be used as a pendant. So there is a loop built right underneath the pin. So you could wear this as a necklace as well. So it's just a beautiful, to me, that kind of, it's a butterfly, that kind of like the way the stones are formed. I would think that this is a 70s, maybe going into the 80s, but I want to say this is a 70s, particularly with that filigree. I could be wrong because, again, it's not stamped, it's not marked. I have no additional information on it, but it's a beautiful piece. It's actually a nice size. So I'll go ahead and tell you. So wingspan to wingspan, it is a little over 2 inches wide. And from top to bottom, it's about 2.5 inches tall. So as a pendant, it'd be pretty good size. And as a brooch, it is pretty good sized. So this is the butterfly, the white tone, white metal butterfly brooch. You can get that for $12. So $12 for the butterfly brooch, $12 by giving me number 43. $12, number 43. For the white stoned silver tone butterfly brooch. All right. Does it glow? I didn't check. Let's see, where's my keys? Hold on. Let me find my I don't have all my stuff set up. Let's see if I can find. No, does not glow. I didn't even think to look. But it looks like we got a couple of people trying to get it. So let me see who Nate says. Got 43. The butterfly brooch went to Auntie Christy. So thank you, Christy, for picking up the butterfly brooch. All right. Next, I've got a vintage game. This one I also picked up in Maumee, and I think I showed this in the haul. I've had these before. This one, though, what I liked about it is one, it's still in the box, and sometimes I've had them without the box. What the value behind this one is the box because of the graphics on it. So you've got an old-fashioned cribbage board, which are, relatively common and a traditional style, but this one has Milton Bradley was having an identity crisis or something and decided to just make sure you were perfectly well aware that this was theirs. So you've got the Milton Bradley Company from Springfield, Massachusetts, taking up a good chunk of the artwork on the front. And then you still have the little tiny Milton Bradley logo, on the side. I don't know. I just find that basically the fact that they're emphasizing it that much, I think makes this a little bit older. It's kind of like maybe they were promoting their company maybe a little bit more than they needed to, but also just the way the font is done. This to me is probably pushing like maybe 50s. There's no date or anything on it to be able to trace, so I could be completely incorrect. I just have never seen a cribbage board with that style of logo on it. So it is Milton Bradley cribbage board. It's $7. $7 for the Milton Bradley cribbage board. $7 by giving me number 36. $7.36 for the cribbage board. And if for those of you who are very astute, I didn't bring any of my paper clips or my cards, so I have like a couple of Post-it notes, and I have to just keep reusing them. So that's why I'm kind of like fumbling a little bit because the stickiness is starting to wear off, and I'm afraid they're going to fall off. I actually don't know. I played cribbage a long time ago. The box definitely does not have room for anything else. So I think you're right. It probably does use a deck of cards or uses something, dice. I don't know. But they would sell the cribbage boards by themselves, probably assuming people just already had the cards because there's no room for anything else in the box. It's too shallow to put on top, and there's nothing side to side. I am in a hotel room in Ohio, Danny. I started my trip out east last week to get to my daughter's graduation over the weekend, and now I'm heading back. So I made it to Ohio tonight, kind of barely in time for my sale, and I'm doing the sale from the road. But I will be home over the weekend, so I will start invoicing. Once I get home. So the cribbage board was 36, and that looks like that went to Susan Way. So thank you, Susan, for picking up the cribbage board. All right. This I bought today. So this is fresh from the being sourced, and the only reason, not that I have a problem that it's in the sale, but the only reason it is, somebody had a question about whether the pegs are in there. I'm sorry, I should have shown that. There's a little hidden compartment on the bottom, and their metal pegs are sitting in there. Oh, it says something. Oh, look, it says Milton Bradley. They really wanted you to know that they made it. All right. Sorry if I missed that earlier. So I will say, though, Melody's saying there should be 6 metal pegs. As they show on the board, there's only 4, and there's 4 in the package. So I've always played it with 4. So I don't know why there would be 6, but maybe there's different versions of it. I don't know. So there are 4 pegs, but that is what shows on the board, is that there's 4. And yeah, there's no directions in this one. Okay, so this one, the only reason it came straight into the sale without being able to do a live or a haul video or anything on it was because it was so big, it was sticking out of the bag when I bought it. And so I put it in the milk crate that holds all my lights, because I bring my own lights to be able to do the show on the road. And it was still in the milk crate when I brought it in the hotel. So I'm like, well, guess what? It's for sale. So, which it was always going to be for sale. I for whatever reason, I very rarely come across these, like to the point where I'm not sure I've ever come across these. And I found a handful of them, and some of them still had the label on them, like, bug off or whatever the different brands were. Some of them had like a clear glass, like the little container that I guess you would buy that. So there's a label on that. And I just couldn't decide. The fact that it was glass, I was hesitant. This one is all metal. So this one has this great patina to it. I'm sorry, but it's got a wooden handle. So it is the bug spray. It makes a god-awful noise as you slide it back and forth. Yes, Nate is saying must polish. And this, I will say this is a pretty serious death spray. The ones that I saw, this wasn't quite as long, and the bottle was glass, was like maybe half the size. So this one, I couldn't decide. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not really sure. Like, would people want the clear glass? What do we want to do with it? And I just didn't pick them up. And so then I saw this one today. I'm like, okay, that's why I didn't pick those up. This is what I was waiting for. Because to me, this is what you would see in like the Tom and Jerry cartoons and the Bugs Bunny cartoons. Like, this is that thing like real people are going after, trying to kill whatever they're trying to kill. It's got the great big sprayer on there. I'm not even sure if you could polish this up. To me, this looks like copper. And like I said, the handle itself is wood. It's just a really cool piece. And because it's copper, you're right, Nate. It would look great polished up. But to me, because of what this is, it wants to be old. It wants to be crusty and rusty. It wants to be sitting in a vignette of death, or just of like old farm implements or whatever. Acme, absolutely. You can just put that, you get creative and put the little Acme stencil across the front. So you can clean it up, you can keep it as is. It's really in good shape, that if you did polish it, there's really nothing. There's maybe a little bit of, let's see if I can get the light to hit it better. You can see there's maybe a little bit of like, I don't feel it, but there's a little bit more discoloration right where the top meets the barrel. So I'm not sure how well that would polish up, but the rest of it's in a really good shape. And I don't think there's a tiny little, like you can kind of see like a dimple here that actually kind of it looks like this was pushed down a little bit. But other than that, there's no dents. There's nothing else in here. And I'm loving that idea, Christy, that, you know, just putting Acme on there. I did a video. I haven't put it out yet, but I did a video. I think I was still in Ohio, but it might have been, no, it was Pennsylvania. They had a big fire bucket, and they actually had a couple, but the one I did was one with a round bottom. And I just became obsessed with this idea that, you know, having these things just kind of laying around your house, and it looked like an Acme fire bucket. But anyway, it is available. It is awesome. It just never made it into a haul video because I bought it about 5 hours ago. So it is available for $25, and it should fit in one of the shoebox size of the priority mailbox. And it's not heavy. It's long. So it's $25 for the copper bug sprayer death spray. $25 by giving me number 95. $25, number 95 for the copper sprayer. All right. So that was 95. Okay, and I announced 36 went to Susan. All right, the next one, these definitely came from the Mommy Antique Mall as well. I'm going to show you both, but I'm also going to sell these just like I did with the two airplanes because they're a little bit different. I'm selling them for the same price. They're both part of Trusty's Travel and Bin, so these are $5 each. But one of them they're a little bit taller, and they're double pronged on the bottom. So they're cocktail picks or cocktail forks. And you can see they have the suits of cards done as a cutout into the plastic at the top. So you've got a little bit taller, the double thing at the bottom. And then this one is more like they're just calling them picks. So like a more of a traditional cheese pick or something like that. You've just got the regular point at the bottom as opposed to the double point, but there are more of them. So I'm selling them $5 each. But I'm going to keep them separate because they're obviously very distinct styles. You may like one over the other. So the first one is going to be the larger of the two. So it looks like Dawn is taking number 95. So thanks, Dawn, for picking that up. It's got the little plastic container. You can see the different colors. We got blue, this is kind of an orange. And maybe that's more orange. This is like a yellowish orange versus a red orange, yellowish orange versus like a red orange, white and blue. So those are the different colors. Why they made the hearts white. And I don't know, I guess there's actually some of them come in multiple colors because the heart is in both red and white. So I don't know what the randomness of those. So anyway, so to get the bigger picks with the double prongs on the bottom, that you can get by giving me letter Z. So the bigger picks with the double prongs are $5 by giving me letter Z. And then the smaller picks, which again have the suits of cards, but you know, they're just the shape on the head, and then there's the single points on the bottom. The 4 aces. I don't know if that had a date. It does have a UPC label on it, and it has a zip code on it. So probably late 70s, maybe 80s. With a little plastic carrier, also $5. But you get this one by giving me. Why can I not get this on? You get this one by giving me letter W. So the smaller one is W. The bigger ones are Z. So it looks like we had a couple people trying to grab those. Let me see who Nate is identifying while I try and get the lids back on. So letter Z went to Auntie Christy. I will get the lid back on before I give it to you. I'll add that to your butterfly brooch. And letter W also goes to Auntie Christy. Oh, She had the fast internet tonight, so she gets both sets. All right. That is annoying me because I can't get the lid back on, but it will. All right. So those go to Auntie Christy. All right. Next item. This I also showed in the live haul. This one came also from the Mommy Antique Mall. This is just one of those things. Again, if you're trying to build yourself an ephemera bowl, this is just one of those fun items that I thought would be great to pick up. So this is a trading stamp saver booklet. This one's one I'm not familiar with, CD10. So I'm not familiar with that particular brand. It has some sheets of the CD10 stamps still in there. And Christy's saying she refreshed a million times. Well, there you go. You don't always have to have the fastest internet as long as you're refreshing at the right times. So some of the pages have been filled out, but you still get some cool artwork on the pages that have not been filled, including like, it's wise to be thrifty. It's wise to save our trading stamps. So you get the happy homemaker who just can't wait to get more trading stamps. And then take the time to save, ask for, and redeem our stamps. So you've got the little huckster with the bag of money right there asking for you to get the trading stamps. After this page, just one more page to go before you fill this book. You know, stating the obvious, Captain Obvious. Instructions on the back. So this to me, like you could keep it together. You could put it in your ephemera bowl. I think it would look kind of fun. But this would also be, you know, some of these, our stamps will help you get those little extra things. Some of these these little illustrations will be great in junk journaling. So it's just a fun little book. Again, CD10. I don't think I ever found an address or anything. So I'm not sure what part of the country these were done in because I don't know what the CD stands for. The place was Joseph's Supermarkets. I also don't recognize that. So I'm not sure where these came from. But this, like I said, this was picked up in Maumee, Ohio. So maybe this is a Midwest and Ohio, maybe a Michigan, Indiana thing. It's $5. It's part of the Trusty Travel and Bin. So it's only $5 for the CD10 trading stamp booklet. $5, but give me letter V. $5 letter V for the 3-way stamp plan CD10 book. All right. This also showed up in one of the live hauls because I want to say this also came from the Maumee, Ohio mall, and I did do the live haul with that. I know I showed it because somebody did the research for me, and I bless them for it. It's this military brush, and we discovered on air it's kind of like an acrylic. I don't think it's lucite. I don't think it is. I can't think of the word, not composite. What's the combustible stuff? Celluloid. It might be celluloid, but it's clear. But what I discovered on the air is it has a name etched into it that when I was trying to figure out what it said and spelling it out loud, it actually spelled prophylactic, which kind of caught me off guard. But somebody looked it up and it turned out that was the name of a company that made these brushes, and the company went out of business in the teens. So this was sold as a military brush. I don't see any connection of why that would be, but if it's a military brush for a company that went out of business in the teens, there's a World War I military brush. I couldn't really find any other additional information on it. I got it at a great price. I do think it would look great just sitting on a dresser tray or whatever, whether it's a men's brush or a woman's brush. And the fact, the name that it's called prophylactic and it has some history, I just think it's fun. And so I'm selling it at what I think is a good price. So it's, I would agree with you, Proud American. I don't know what they were thinking when they named this company Prophylactic, but whatever. At least it can be researched at that point. So I'm just selling it for $10. So $10 for the Prophylactic brush. I don't know, the brush, the bristles are like also kind of like they're not hair, you know, there's some sort of a acrylic, you know, material, plastic material. So $10 for the Prophylactic brush, $10 by giving me number 85. $10, number 85 for the Prophylactic brush. And yes, Susan Way, whoever found it, same thing, is it was to prevent disease. So I guess because it's all plastic, it was easier to clean. Maybe it's easier to sterilize or boil. So you weren't dealing with regular hair. So yeah, there like there did seem some meaning to the name, but even back in the teens, I think prophylactic was starting to take on a different meaning. So at number 85, $10 for the brush. And that goes to Old Stuff, Beth, Texas. And did I miss? V went to Michelle Ann. So the trading stamp book went to Michelle Ann. I'm sorry, I did not announce that. So Michelle Ann picks up the trading stamp book for $5. And Old Stuff Beth, Texas, picked up the brush for $10. All right, I am going to go ahead and show the item that is in my eBay auction right now. So if you watched my live haul last night with the dogs, you would have seen this. I really was thinking, well, because I was traveling, I couldn't do an auction piece because I wasn't going to be home. And if somebody from outside of the live sale community bought on eBay, I wouldn't have been home to ship it. So I just didn't have anything to over the last 2 weeks. I didn't have one the last week I was home because I was going to be gone for the, when that one ended. Last week, I was going to be gone this week. And then suddenly I realized, oh, wait, I'm going to be home next week. So I could do an item this week and I didn't have anything to sell. So, because I'm not just grabbing things. It's like, hey, let's see if I can make more money on an auction. I'm trying to find things that I'm selling. Everything I'm selling to you, I'm selling at a fair price, a little bit less than I pay for or sell it for on Etsy. But there are going to be some items that either they're more rare or they're more unique or they're harder to research. And I just don't know what to sell them for. So I used to just guess. And then I would learn, I underpriced or sometimes I overpriced. So I'm going to let the market figure this one out because I'm listing the bag. So this is the French beaded mesh handbag. So it is currently live on my eBay store. And so if Katie or Nate can drop the link to that. But all the measurements are on the listing. It has a handle that I currently have doubled. If you do a single handle, it's, I think it was 19 inches long or 16 inches long. If you double up the handle, it is 9 inches long, if I believe. And the reason you might double the handle is because when it's a single handle, you can see it actually crosses, like one of the eyelets is on one side of the frame and the other eyelets on the other side. So when you go to open it, it kind of covers the opening. So I don't know how you necessarily would have used this bag. But to showing purposes, I'm going to shorten it because then I can hold it and you can still see it. So it has the clasp, that little like twist clasp on it. It has a fabric lining. The lining has a tag in there that says "Made in France." There is no maker's maker's label or who made it, but the fabric says "Made in France." And then I don't know if you're going to be able to see if there's a picture in eBay that shows it. On the side of the frame also says "Made in France." So it is a French evening bag. I got a close up of the beads, so you'll probably see them a little bit better on the eBay post. Yes, starting bid is $39 because that's what I paid for it. So at this point, I'm literally just selling it because she was gracious enough to kind of let me see through her collection. She had a lot of them. This one was not on the floor yet. And so she gave it to me at what she thought was a fair price that I should still be able to make some money, but I have no idea what I could make it at. So I'm going to lose the fees, the Etsy take or eBay takes for selling on eBay. It's worth noting that I believe some of the stitching has been redone. You can see some of the stitch work. Some of the holes don't show anything. And then there's some stitching off to the side. So I'm not sure if that stitching was just lost and needs to be repaired. There's some on the other side. So it's not uniform. I'd say it's still in great condition, but you just need to be aware, there might need to be, because this is heavy. This, I don't know what the beads are made of, but she kept referring to it as metal mesh, metal beads. So there's some decent weight that's pulling on the frame. So I picked it because it was one of the best condition ones she had. But I took some close-ups in the eBay listing also that shows, what that looks like. But all of the beads appear to be here. I said, and she agreed, that this is probably maybe a teens, late aughts, teens, probably not yet the 20s, but we were approaching it because like there's on the side, as you can see it, there's kind of like a really nice swirly design that kind of looks nouveau, but because the circles are starting to come into play, it's like borderline getting into decos, but we're not like pure deco yet. So, oh, wow, we've already got bids. Okay. It just went live 20 minutes ago. So you are, it's in the eBay community. I truly don't know what this is worth. I mean, they are listed all over the place on eBay, and I don't know how to differentiate. This is just not an area of expertise. But she was so kind to work with me. If you watch that video, right now it's only on Instagram. I may try and get some clips and put it into a YouTube video. But she didn't know I was coming. Like this wasn't a meetup or anything. I just knew her from a podcast called Antiques Freaks. And I walked in, told her that's how I knew her. And then I said, would you be willing to kind of like give us a tour of your store? And she was totally gracious to do that. She had customers. And, she had a collection of kimonos. I didn't really want to go down the fashion. That was an area I really didn't want to pursue. But the mesh bags, I think she had something like 5 or 6 that were on display in the store. And then she had something like 7 or 8 more that she pulled out from underneath the counter. And this was one of those. Like, okay, this I do want to learn more about. So we'll see. I'm being very honest. So that's what I put in. It will ship priority mail. It is not heavy. Like it doesn't go over a pound, but I'm going to ship it priority mail because I want the insurance. So that's all in the listing. Thank you, Katie, for putting the link on there. And so it's already up to 7 bids. Okay, 9 bids. Holy cats. Some of my other stuff didn't start getting bids until it was ending. So I don't know, maybe I do have something special on this. And, if it makes a lot of money, I'll make sure I go back and get something else from her, to thank her. So that is the auction item. So for those of you who are not used to that and haven't figured out what I was saying, so it just went live at top of the hour, so 9 o'clock Eastern. It will end at 9 o'clock Eastern next week. So during my live sale, I will be watching it during the first hour of the sale, showing it, letting people, okay, it's already up to $75. So I let people know that that's within. So a lot of times the bidding kind of just happens toward the end. And then when that one ends, I will have another item go up next week, which is the item I should have brought with me. I just didn't think to do it. So I've got a piece of pottery that's going to go up. I actually have a couple pieces that I've got. Again, I don't know what they're worth. So I know they're special. So they're going to go onto those and, have fun. Anyway, so I've only got a couple items left. This one is also, I think, from the Maumee Antique Mall. This was just like a fun little set of whether you want an ephemerable or if you actually want to use them. I don't know if Sandra K is raising her hand with a question. I can't quite tell what that icon says. Looks like that's raising a question. So did you ask me a question that I missed? I'm sorry. Sandra K. Oh, you're bidding. Oh, that's cute. So yeah, you're raising your hand to bid. Oh, fun. Okay, so thank you. I think it's gorgeous. I absolutely think it's gorgeous. But like I said, I just started it at what I paid. So hoping it was going to do better. So I'm even more grateful to her for helping me out. So, all right. So the next one is just this little set of these little booklets. So these are, 2 of them are Hoover. So you've got, for over 75 years, quality has been our only standard. And they are just little notebooks. They're both empty. You've got it regular lined in that one. Same thing for this one. I don't think these are super old. I mean, again, I would think I probably could figure it out. So 75 years. I don't know when Hoover was founded. So we're probably in the 80s, 90s, maybe even into the 2000s. I don't know. So those were just kind of fun little Hoover notebooks. But this is the cool one. This is the Stanley Home Products. And it's a little spiral notebook, but it's got all of these cool graphics on here for Stan Home, which I'm not familiar with. It says it was based in Westfield, Massachusetts. So I don't know where that is. I would say yes. I would say agree with you, Sarah Lee. It is pre-flapper. That's why I said the teens, because I don't think it's Deco era. So yes, I would agree with you. Um, and it could be aughts. You know, it's like again, it's kind of like leaving Nouveau to get into Deco. So I think teens. Anyway, so this is also it's simply a spiral bound notebook. This one does not have lines. This actually has just blank pages. I just kind of put them all together. There's 3 little notebooks. You know, whether you want to use them or create your own ephemeral. And they're part of the Trusty's Travel and Bin, so they're $5. So $5 for all 3. It's selling them as a set. $5 for all 3 of them, and you can get them by giving me letter N. $5 for the 3 notebooks by giving me letter N. N for notebook. That wasn't even intentional. All right. Coasters. I've got another set of coasters. These I also showed in one of the hauls. Now I can't remember where I picked these up though. Oh, these I picked up. These I showed. These, for those of you who might have missed, so letter N went to Rebecca Higgins. So thank you, Rebecca, for picking up the packet of notebooks. If you saw my video, I did a live video with Scott a live haul video with Scott from Old Curiosity Shop. And then we also recorded a haul video immediately after we ended the live haul. We went ahead and recorded another haul. So we each showed 5 items in the live, and then we each showed 5 items in the recorded one. And in one of the 2, I can't remember which one it was, I think the live one, I talked about coasters, because for as great as Scott is and as much fun as he was to work with and as wonderful of all of his characteristics are, he did not have any coasters in his home. And trust me, I chided him for that. So I had bought these coasters when we went picking earlier that day. And so while I'm in his home, I pulled out my own coasters and I used a coaster to protect his absolutely gorgeous furniture during my visit to the Old Curiosity Shop. And so this was the coast. This happened to be the coaster that I pulled. So these are, and I was corrected, and I can't remember who corrected me. Actually, I was corrected more than once. So for all the people who were yelling at me because I was stupid, these are Edward Gorey drawings. I was not wrong on that. However, I connected Edward Gorey to the Addams family, and I was very, very set straight that that was created by Charles Addams, which makes sense. So Edward Gorey, for whatever reason, I mean, to me, they're that same dark aesthetic. I truly did think Edward Gorey did the Addams family. So, okay, I stand corrected. So this is a set of Edward Gorey illustrations done into coasters. So you've got this one. You've got the little, the lamp seems to take have a big focus in this series. You've got the little lamp carrier. Another lamp carrier. This one, adult, and then maybe like a younger kid, and then like a little child, but the middle one's the one holding the lamp. And then I don't think he's in a grave. I think he's just, maybe like near a mound of grass or snow. But, kind of a freaky old man with a child. So it's just that aesthetic. So somebody was just asking, so what did Gorey do that we know of? So Gorey really did these types of illustrations. Like he had a whole series of illustrations about death. Like he did one book, I think it was like an alphabet book, and it was like Adam died by an axe and Bertha died by a bite, or it was just weird. And all the illustrations, it's kind of like haunted mansion type stuff. Thanks, Vinny. Wow, $81. I'm totally shocked. I mean, I really don't do auctions on eBay other than this, and all of my other ones, I'd be almost ready to start the next week's sale when it's going to end in an hour, and they wouldn't have any bids at all, and then they just go flooding in the last hour. I'm not used to all this. So Catherine saying he was an author and he inspired Tim Burton. That does not surprise me at all. Again, it's a very this. Unless he's about to murder the child, they just have a dark imagery. They're all pen and ink illustrations. So these are made kind of the best way I could describe them is they're kind of like the finish of a button. So they're wrapped onto the back. So they kind of have like a plastic laminate over the illustration. And then there's a cork backing to it. I literally have no idea how old these are. If I remember, Gory was like 20s, 30s. I mean, he's old. It's old. Like, I don't think he was 60s. Maybe I could be wrong. And yes, you're right, Nancy. He did the intro to Mystery PBS. That is absolutely correct. So yes. So again, it was one of those, like, I was exposed to him. I remember the Death book because it's a macabre kind of dark humor. And like I said, like, I kind of would equate him to the Haunted Mansion at Disney. He didn't build that, but just that kind of a dark humor. So anyway, so someone else just mentioned Gory and PBS. So yeah, you guys have figured out by now, I'm horrible with the chat when I'm trying to sell. So I randomly saw somebody. Yes, Alpha Deaths. Gashly Crumb Tinies. I vaguely remember that. And okay, so that's what it was called. That was the Alpha book of children's death. Yeah. So, I hate kids. So, like, a book of children's deaths. Awesome. Anyway, so this, I shouldn't have said that. So this is a set of Gory coasters, the 4 separate illustrations. So it's a nice set because it's 4 different designs, not 4 of the identical designs. So 4 of the Gory coasters for $7. $7 for the Gory coasters, $7 by giving me number 8. $7, number 8 for the Gory coasters. All right, got another brooch. So the last brooch, I kind of saved the best for last. So again, these are the brooches that I picked up, or that I had already. The brooches that I picked up from Suffragette City, they're better. But I needed to figure out, one of them I think had a signature that I needed to figure out. She helped me pick those 2. So I think she's my new best friend. And I am going to talk to her about doing a deep dive because she was using terms for her kimono collection that I'd never even heard. Hori. Okay, that sounds dirty. But I want to say it was a hori. So I don't know, that the whores wore. I don't know. So there were like long ones and short ones. One had a square neck. One just hung open. So there were like different names for all these styles. And so she had a huge collection of those. She makes jewelry out of vintage pieces. I'm not sure we could do really a deep dive on that, but that'd be a good one for you, Katie, for show and tell. But she had she had some dress clips. She had these handbags. And then she really had a lot of costume jewelry, and she's very knowledgeable in that kind of stuff. So I really think she would be a fun one to do a deep dive with. So 8, the Gory coasters went to Logan at Vintique Scavenger. So thank you, Logan, for picking those up. I hope you have as macabre sense of humor as I do. And so the next one is the brooch. So this one, again, this is a brooch that I already had. I do feel it's the best brooch that I had in my collection, or that I got from the estate sale. And I'm hoping I can show it on screen and it'll actually show it off. So it's like that Aurora Borealis glass beads. It has a pin back with the safety clasp. So you can see the back. It's not signed, so none of the brooches that I got from that estate sale were signed. The way this one is made, they're not prong set, but you can look at the ones on the ends. You can see there's a pin that's coming out of the end of it, the faceted end. There's like a pin that is holding that onto the base. So all the ones along the edges have those metal pins in the middle to kind of give it a little metallic accent. And then the ones in the middle have a faceted stone coming out of that center. So you have like a double row of faceted stones. And I'm going to see if I hit the light directly, maybe it'll show more. So you can kind of see what's happening with some of the light refracting on this. It's not a large piece from the widest part of the brooch to the widest part of the other side. It's only 1.5 inches. So it's a circular brooch. It's just got some great fire to it because of the way the glass has been faceted. And then again, the ones in the middle have the added stones to give even more faceting. and then just the metallic on the edges. So just the way they treated them differently. I don't really know how brooches are made, so I don't know like what you can tell from the side of that. Kind of looks like a flower frog that the pins kind of go into that, because the back is just solid. So I don't exactly know how this one was made, but it is. Yeah, you're right, Vinny. If you were to take the right type of photo of this, it would look like, if you put this on a little package, it would look like a perfect little Christmas ribbon. Like it's just gorgeous. But I got it at a great price, and so I wanted to offer it here in the live sale. It's hard to do things like this on Etsy, where I do most of my stuff, because there's no brand, there's no maker's mark, so it's hard for people to find. There's so much jewelry there, so I like selling things here, and I want to give you guys a good price. So it's a beautiful brooch with the double sets of stones. It's only $15. $15 for the little, and I know what you meant, Vinny, the little bow, the little wrapped bow style, clear glass with the little faceting. It's only $15. So $15 for the clear glass by giving me number 99. $15.99 for the 1.5 inch across ribbon pin. So what we were just saying, it is a good size, and oh, you're right, it's a good size to team with others. Like if you want to do that cluster thing, this would, and it's just because it's clear, it would go with just about anything else you would pin it with, or it would look great on one of Katie's hats, or as a small lapel pin. So 99 is the clear brooch. It looks like we had a couple people trying after that one. So let me see what Nate comes back with. So it looks like 99 went to, I'm blinding myself, I need to move the light. 99 went to Leanne Say. So thank you, Leanne, for picking up the brooch. Okay. I have a few things left. Got another piece of ephemera. I had a travel schedule last week that was for an existing airline. I had the United one last week. This week, don't be making fun of the way I say pin, pen, pin, and I'm drinking a pop. Deal with it. So we've got, last week was the United travel guide, travel timetable. This one is for the obsolete airline, Eastern. So we've got the Eastern airline travel table for 1971. So you've got the calendars for 1971. This one is really going to be one of those cases. There's a handful of ads through it, but not a lot. So the fact that the other one had more graphics, I'm selling them for the same price. That one was less obscure, but it had some better graphics in it. This one is, a little bit more collectible because Eastern Airlines doesn't exist anymore, and that's what people like to do, but it's not as interesting. You can still kind of junk journal with it. You've got all the different text. You got the big map in the middle. You got a lot of the text. So you could still cut it up, do something with the junk journal, put it into Ephemerable, because you still got Eastern Airline, a logo that you're not going to come across very often because it no longer exists. So we've got the Eastern Airlines travel time schedule for 1971. And you can get that by giving me a letter. It's $5 by giving me a letter K. So it's part of the Trusty travel bin. It's $5, just like the last one. $5, letter K for the Eastern Airlines travel timetable. Okay, $5, letter K for Eastern. Okay. Well, I got a few things left. I'm going to do another mystery box. So this is my last one. So this is my third mystery box. So I'm doing 3. We've got 2 that already were given away. Works the same way. $15. You'll have at least 25 to 30 in there. I'll try and weigh it in a way that you don't put more than, I won't charge you more than around $10 for shipping, depending where you're based. Will depend on how much weight your items have. So you've got a $15 mystery box, and you can grab that by giving me the number between 20 and 30. So the number falls between 20 and 30. So the first person that gives me the number that is on here between 20 and 30 will get the third mystery box. I lost my pen. All right. because I didn't get here early enough to actually tell Katie or Nate what the number is. I have to try and find it myself and then verify. So let's see. Okay. All right, I see it. The number is 23. So the first person I see with the number 23 is Old Stuff, Beth, Texas, who got the first mystery box. So I can give you 2, or if you want to gift one to somebody, you earned it fair and square. But just verify everyone verify first that the first person that gave number 23 is Old Stuff, Beth, Texas. And Beth, just verify if you indeed want 2. I have no problem sending you 2. I will create them independently and then just put them together. And then I'll still try it. It might be a little bit more than $10. Shipping to Texas is not the cheapest place for me, but it's not bad. So I can try and take that into consideration. But so just verify if you indeed want to, if you do indeed want 2 boxes. Somebody just asked, what is typically in my mystery box? There is no typical. Sometimes I will say it depends greatly on where I'm shipping it to. So like when I ship to California, I put, things like swizzle sticks and cigarette cards and cigarette silks, postcards, things that definitely still have value and will give you good value. I mean, I was still putting $25 to $30 worth of stuff in there, but it will be lightweight because I don't want it to be more than $10. One time I did it, I pre-packed the box. It was a kitchen themed box, and Auntie Christy, who I think is still in the chat, she received it and it was going to cost something like $25 to ship it to her. And it was just like, no. So I instantaneously said, oh, absolutely no, I will just create a different one. It just won't necessarily be kitchen themed anymore. So that was kind of like my lesson. So when it's close, I shipped one, shipped from Chicago. I shipped one into Indiana, and I think for $10, I could ship up to 8 pounds. So she got china, like she got a mixing bowl. She got a serving platter. She actually got some heavy stuff because I could still give it to her and it still didn't cost that much to ship. So, but it's stuff that was either in my booth. Sometimes it's just fun stuff that I pick up, along the way. Like I picked up a bunch of stuff on this trip that I'm thinking, oh, it'll be fun to put this in a mystery box. And then I realized, oh my God, I'm going to need like 85 mystery boxes in order to be able to get rid of all the stuff that I bought. So I think I just saw a note, and Nate, if you could confirm it. Yes. So Beth is paying for the box, but I'm shipping it to Katie. So Beth gets the bill. Ship to Katie. I don't think Katie's ever gotten one of my mystery boxes. All right. Old Stuff. Beth. Okay. This one I don't believe I showed. I think this did come from Mommy. This is getting stuff that I just like. I like. Oh, let me get rid of the note here. This is the type of stuff that I just like, and this is what I started doing a lot with my Etsy. I like the decorative arts. I did some house museums on this trip, and this is just the stuff I like. This piece is a made in Japan piece. It still has a Kaufman label on it. Now I've never heard of Kaufman's. No, it's not Kaufman's. I thought it was Kaufman's. Glencoe? Gimbals. Oh, it came from Gimbals. I've heard of them. One of the other items I had a Kaufman's label on it. I'd never heard of Kaufman's. So this one actually has a Gimbals label on it. And it was a Gimbals label that once upon a time charged $2.50 for this. But I can't really tell how old it is. Maybe it was 1978 because there is a 78 in the label. But I don't know if that necessarily means the date. That could just be like a stocking number. These are just, it has a chop mark on there, but a lot of these are like fake chop marks, that were made specifically for a Western market, but it has the paper label made in Japan. So it's probably dates from the 60s, maybe, 60s or 70s with that paper label. It's just a square little hand painted Asian style floral dish. It's absolutely perfect condition. It's got the gold rim around the outside. I think it's gorgeous. And it's $8. Hold your keys, pin dish. Don't know if you necessarily want to use it for food, but it's not like the new stuff that has the big warning on it that says not for food use. It's just a decorative dish. And it's $8 for the made in Japan Asian style floral dish, square dish. $8 by giving me number 2. $8, number 2 for the dish. And then the last item I've got also showed up in one of my haul videos. This one also, I picked this up with Scott at the house that he and I picked at. It is the set, still in the original box, of teaspoons. So you can see in the back, it has the brand label of Tall Stirs. So they're teaspoons. What was unique about these and why I really wanted to get them, because it says right on the back, it is the finest products made with aluminum, and they're made with Reynolds aluminum. And as I mentioned during the live haul, my mother used to work for Reynolds Metals. They did more than aluminum. She worked for Reynolds Metals out in the city. And then somebody watched the video and said that her mom worked for Reynolds Metals too. So we've got the original Reynolds Metals sticker on the back. And then we also have what I'm assuming is probably the store that sold these. I don't think that'd be the manufacturer, but maybe. So you got the Walther Royal Ray. What does that say? Ray J. It's 2 words. Ray J. Walther Company, but it's from Des Moines. And it has the single digit. Yeah, it's like the Reynolds wrap. So Reynolds Metals did like the aluminum foil, but then they also did a bunch of other stuff. We have aluminum hangers, but they did more than aluminum. So anyway, this is Des Moines 5. So it's when they've introduced zip codes. So single and double digit zip codes were introduced after the war, pretty much. 1948 was when those started coming out. And then they were replaced with 5-digit zip codes in 1963. So when you see something that has a 1-digit zip code, it doesn't matter if it's 1 or 2, they were the same time, just depended on the city. If you see a single or double digit zip code, it means it's from 1948 to 1963. So you've got total mid-century modern in your teaspoons, because really, who needs teaspoons like this anymore? But she had a collection of those Libby glasses that have the leaf pattern and the gold leaf. They also do in silver, but she had the gold. So I think these were actually probably purchased around the same time and were for use with those Libby leaf glasses, which, I grew up with. My parents had those from the 60s. So, this is probably, though, 50s, because by 63, that zip code would have changed to a 5-digit zip code. So anyway, it is very cool. Yes, they're iced teaspoons. I kept saying teaspoons, but I mean literally tea for iced tea. So, and these I thought was kind of cool because they don't really have much of a bowl. I mean, I guess you could scoop some sugar with those, but maybe it's more for like eat up the cubes. It's just really to stir. So that's why they are tall stirs as opposed to specifically like teaspoons. And so, Libby's made that leaf pattern. So anyway, I think these would go really well with that, or they just stand alone. I think they're super cool, and making these available. I need to cover up the number. My sticky's falling off. So these are $12. So $12. Yep, you can use with fancy swizzle sticks. There you go. $12 for this set of tall stirs that can date total mid-century modern. $12. And you get that into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The complete set of 8 in the original packaging. $12 for the 8 by giving me number 78. $12, number 78 for the tall stirs. And that is it. I only had a couple things that didn't sell, and it is what it is. The Asian dish didn't sell. That was $8 for number 2 for the Asian dish, and the timetable didn't sell. So $5 for the Eastern timetable by giving me K. It looks like those might have been the only 2 things that didn't sell. So if you wanted to grab those at the end, let me know. But number 78, the tall stirs, went to M. Lynn Newton. So thank you, Lynn, for picking those up. And so gimbals. So gimbals competed with Macy's is the gimbals that I know. So were they like into catalogs too? I remember we used to have a Spiegel's outlet in Naperville, near where I grew up. Yeah, so I'm not. So I thought Gimbals was like a Macy's type store, because in Auntie Mame, when she gets fired from Macy's, she yells out, she's like, you know, don't forget the skates, get them at Gimbals. So anyway, oh yes, and I'm sorry, I did. Oh, so Uncle Andy did get that one. I'm sorry, Uncle Andy got the dish. Thank you. I did get that from Nate, but I didn't write that down. And I think Uncle Andy, that's the first time you bought from me. So I apologize that I didn't get to give you a shout out. So that was number 2, the Asian dish. So that goes to Uncle Andy. So for those, I think there was 1 or 2 names that I didn't recognize. If you're still here, make sure you send me an email. I hide this because you can see my email. Just make sure you send an email to this address to give me your shipping information. A couple of you haven't ordered from me lately. So also just make sure if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and send me an email and just reconfirm your mailing address. I did have a situation about a month or 2 ago that I was shipping to the wrong place because they had moved, but they'd moved like a long time ago, but I still had their address from before that and I didn't know. So just keep that in mind. If at any point, and for anybody's sales, if it has something like that changes, go ahead and remind us. Because sometimes, particularly sometimes your personal, the name that we're shipping to doesn't match your YouTube name. So it is like a game sometimes to keep track of everything. And I never want to mess up. I still messed up. There was the sale that I had Annette, Nanette, and let's see, I did Annette, Nanette, and Nettie. All 3 of you were in the same sale, and I got very, very confused. So my handwriting was very bad that day. So you learn as you go. So Uncle Andy got number 2. So I apologize for not catching that. So thank you so much. So really the only thing I didn't sell was, if you're a travel buff, K with $5 for the Eastern timetable. But thank you so much. And the mesh handbag is up to $81. So I guess it's popular. So yes, I am on the road. Yes, thank you, Dawn. So I am on the road. So I'm now at least heading west. So my goal tomorrow is to definitely do some more visits. I'm going to try and shoot some more video tomorrow. So I'm like losing my days of the week. So that's Friday. And then I have to be home Saturday. So what I haven't decided yet is I actually have to be home Sunday. I'm probably going to be home by Saturday night. I haven't decided if I'm going to do anything on Saturday or if I'm just going to like drive through Indiana. But I'll probably, find some places. Like there's places, you see the big antique sign, you can drive off the side of the road and check them out. So I may but my car's getting kind of full. I bought a lot. I bought 3 decorated stoneware. So I don't know if Dana was here from Grace 2010. She's always asking if anything from the top of my piano is for sale. You may get your wish, Dana. I'm going to have to retire some things to add these 3 pieces that I bought. I don't know if I think I'll retire 1 thing from the top of the piano. The other 2 will probably come from the bookcases next to the piano. So yeah, let's look out for those. I'll probably do some haul videos once I get home, but some of the stuff that I bought will just start showing up in sales or in mystery boxes or on my Etsy store, because I need to start listing on Etsy again. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Oh, we've got a suggestion. Heritage Square Antique Mall in Columbus. Okay, I'm going to write that one down because I have one. I know where I'm going at least in one place, but I have the day, so I could, and I will drive by Columbus. So I may look that one up. So I don't even think I have a hotel scheduled for tomorrow night. So I think I need to fix that. Because originally I don't know what I was doing. I had an aneurysm or something. So there's a place in Indiana. Misty has been there. Yeah, I wanted to see Fatbird Finds, but that's not going to happen on this trip. Misty had been to a place in Indiana called Huckster Hall. oh my God, I've got to go to Huckster Hall. And when I looked for it, the first time I looked for it, when I found it, I found something on the map that I thought was listed as Huckster Hall, and it was on the Indiana-Ohio border, north of the interstate. And I'm like, oh, that's totally, like, it's out of my way, but it was like reasonable out of my way. Well, then I was planning to find the hotel, and I looked it up again to get the address, and it's in, I think it's Salem, Indiana, which is like way down south by Louisville, which is totally out of my way. I mean, it would literally add like 2 hours onto my trip. I'm like, okay, I don't think that's happening on this. I've already put like over 1,000 miles on my car. I think I'm around 1,500 miles on my car right now. I kind of want to get home. Somebody said it earlier. I probably want my bed. Yes, I do. So I just can't justify driving all the way down there because I have to get home early, or I get home. It just would be too long to make the drive. So that's like why I'm kind of lost. I don't really know what I'll do. So yeah, there's definitely some places in Springfield. So Plymouth, Indiana. Okay, I'll have to look up Plymouth. Because at this point I don't have any plans, but I left last Tuesday, so not 2 days ago, like last Tuesday. And so I'll have been gone for quite a while, and picking up pretty much, well, every city I've been to, I've gotten a couple bags worth of stuff. And some of those bags were boxes with, one of my stoneware pieces is probably about 24 inches tall. It's 4 gallons. I mean, it's big. I mean, it's basically the size of a butter churn. So yes, at Heart of Ohio, I think I've been to that one before. So yeah, so there's gonna be a bunch of places that I'll have to try and check out. Shipshewana, I can't hit on this one because I'm going to be I'll be coming through Indianapolis. So Shipshewana would be like if I was going back to the Maumee Antique Mall, I drove by Shipshewana. And I'll go back to the Maumee Antique Mall someday because I love the Maumee Antique Mall. It's one of my favorite places to visit. Although I went to Frederick today, Maryland, Vinny, and Chad and Dawn, all of you, all the Terps. I went to Frederick today and fell in love with Emporium Antiques. I set my alarm, and if I hadn't, I would have missed the live sale because I could have been in there for another 2 hours. I found some great stuff there, and some for me and some for the first pewter gill that I found on this entire trip. It's just been interesting what I haven't been able to find. So Frederick was great today, but then I had to drive 5 hours to get to the place that I picked my hotel for tonight. So anyway, thanks everyone for joining. So I think the only thing I know that's going on later tonight is Nancy is doing her sale again, 11 p.m. Eastern. So in an hour, Nancy from this overstuffed house, all one word, this overstuffed house is her YouTube channel. So she will be doing her sale at 11 o'clock. And then, of course, the regular stuff tomorrow. You've got Jeffrey at 7:30 Eastern, and then Fatbird Finds at 10 p.m. Eastern. And then Danny has her sale. I think is yours at 1 p.m. tomorrow, Danny. So just check out, follow Angela Marksbury, follow Sandy and Otto. They each do calendars, so you can figure out. And sometimes it's hard to. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of all the sales. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of my own sale. So I'm done. I think I kept all the tags together, so I think I can keep everything straight. And appreciate you all hanging out with me. Appreciate all your time. Hope you all have a great night. Thanks for putting your trust in Trusty Huckster. Bye, everybody. Bye.